Собственно, как уже сказал, в результате большевистской политики и возникла советская Украина, которую и в наши дни можно с полным основанием назвать Украина имени Владимира Ильича Ленина. Он ее автор и архитектор. Это целиком и полностью подтверждается архивными документами, включая жесткие ленинские директивы по Донбассу, которые буквально втиснули в состав Украины. А сейчас благодарные потомки посносили на Украине памятники Ленину. Это у них декоммунизация называется. Вы хотите декоммунизации? Ну что же, нас это вполне устраивает. Но не нужно, что называется, останавливаться на полпути. Мы готовы показать вам, что значит для Украины настоящая декоммунизация.
And of course, Putin talked about the events in the Odessa fire and the fact that the Russians know who was behind it.
Can you get into that a little bit? Sorry to interrupt you. Can you get into Putin's decommunization comment, where he was targeting, I guess, the Banderites and the neo-Nazis? Can you get into what he meant by that? I'm going to show you what decommunization really means.
Well, indeed, I mean, what these people, I mean, because of course there's been this constant talk in Ukraine about purging and cleansing all elements and aspects of communism from Ukraine. And of course, this is very much the slogan of the far right in Ukraine. It's what Right Sector has been all about. They've been going around Ukraine toppling Lenin statues wherever they've been and doing all those kind of things. And of course, what they won't accept is, and this is the point Putin was trying to make to them, is making to them, has made many times actually, is that Ukraine in its pre-2014 borders is entirely a construct of the Soviet Union. It was the Soviet Union who created these borders. And if you want to talk about decommunization in Ukraine, that means logically erasing those borders too, because they are a product of Soviet power. So that's the point he was making. He said, you want to hold on to that point of the Soviet legacy which suits you, whilst denying all the rest. And that just doesn't going to work. It's ultimately only going to create more problems for you, because you're not prepared to accept the present realities, the multi-ethnic realities of Ukraine. And as a result, by insisting on these present borders, but also insisting on a monoethnic, monocultural Ukraine, you are in effect engineering the collapse of Ukraine. And I think the danger now is this is going to accelerate, because to be very clear, this isn't going to improve the internal situation in Ukraine. It's going to get worse, in my opinion. So Russians now understand across Ukraine that if there's a crisis, real crisis, Russia stands behind them. It will look after them. That was something that came across very clearly in the Security Council meeting yesterday. At the same time, Ukrainian nationalists, seeing every part of their project gradually disintegrate, are going to become even more hostile, one would assume, towards Russian speakers. And as Ukraine continues to spiral downwards, it's very easy to see how these tensions could start to bubble and blow over and become increasingly severe. So this is nowhere near ended. The Russians maybe have succeeded in containing this problem to the Donbass this time. But be under no illusions, in 4, 5, 6 years' time, it's all going to come back. It's all going to come back with renewed force. And of course, by that point, Russia will be even less integrated into the global economy, the Western part of the global economy. It will have even more freedom of action. It will be militarily stronger than it is today. And the Europeans will, of course, be weaker. So that's where all this is heading. And looking at Ukraine's future, one has to say the prospects are grim.